Hi everyone, here we are with another video from the sexual reproduction in flowering plants lesson, and it is a small video, of course, with a small calculation. Okay, here is a question. You can see that. Consider a bilobed dithecous anther has 400 PMC in each microsporangium. How many pollen grains, microspore tetrad and male gametes will be formed from such anther? Okay, so now look at the question very carefully. It is given as, it is a bilobed, that's very important. It is a bilobed dithecous anther. Okay, what is meant by a bilobed dithecous anther? Two lobes are there and each lobe has two theca, that is meant by dithecous. So already we have discussed that in bilobed dithecous anther each theca has one microsporangium, so which means one lobe has two, other lobe also has two microsporangium. So there are totally 4 microsporangia in such anther. And next thing given here is 400 PMC. PMC refers to the pollen mother cell or microspore mother cell. In each microsporangium it is present. That means each of this has 400. So here this has 400, this has 400 PMC, this has 400 PMC. So that means overall how many pollen mother cells are there? 4 into 400, 1600 pollen mother cells are there. So from this now we have to calculate the given things here. So first let us see, in a bilobed dithecous anther, since it has 4 microsporangium, number of pollen mother cell in 1 microsporangium is 400 and in 4 it is 1400. What will be the number of pollen grains you are getting? From 1 PMZ we get 4 pollen grains. Yes, from that is what we have looked into the formula. Number of pollen grains we get to find the number of pollen grains, you are going to multiply the number of pollen mother cells with 4, because one pollen mother cell gives rise to 4 pollen grains. So that we have done here. One number of pollen grains 4 multiplied by number of PMC, that is 1600 here. So we get 6400 as an answer. So number of microspore tetrad. Tetrad means the 4 cells are being, 4 microspores are being held together by callose layer, isn't it? After meiosis of the PMC, that is what we get. So number of tetrads are going to be equal to number of PMCs, with this the same number as pollen mother cell. How many male gametes we get? There are two ways to calculate the number of male gametes we get. So if one pollen grain is dividing, you get 2 male gametes. If you are considering PMC, one pollen mother cell gives rise to 4 pollen grains, then each pollen grain gives rise to 2 male gametes. That means from pollen mother cell you are going to calculate, then pollen mother cell actually gives rise to 4 pollen grains, which each pollen grain gives rise to 2 male gametes. So overall it is 4 2s are 8 male gametes. So you can calculate either directly from the pollen grains you have already calculated or from the pollen mother cell. So if you are calculating from the pollen grains, multiply that number of pollen grains with 2, you get the number of male gametes here. Or if you are calculating from the pollen mother cell, you have to multiply that with 8 to get the number of male gamete. So remember the logic very well. What is the logic behind this calculation? This is the overall process which we have already seen is the logic behind this. From one pollen mother cell, 1 microspore tetrad we get, and there are 4 microspores developing from that, and that develop into 4 pollen grains, which in turn develop into 8 male gametes. So one pollen mother cell gives rise to 8 male gametes. That's the connection we have here. From one pollen mother cell, how many male gametes? 8 male gametes. How many pollen grains? 4 pollen grains. How many microspores? 4 microspore. How many microspore tetrad? one microspore threaded. So you should know this concept very well to understand or do any such calculation. So from one pollen mother cell to get 8 male gametes, how many cell divisions are going to happen? Let us discuss that in the next video.